Previously on the season.
So I want us to be inspirational coaches, and I want us to inspire our athletes to do greater.
We don't care about winning or losing, we just want you to try your hardest.
With over 200 of our students at an elite level in basketball, we can create a really phenomenal program.
All right, girls, let's go. Let's warm up. 60%, go.
There are 5 weeks to go before state champs.
Pump the calves. No, pump the calves. Butts down. 70%, go.
For the predominantly male coaching group at Hillcrest, the adaptation required to mentor and coach female athletes is a delicate one, with plenty of advantages.
Sprints back 2-on-1 defence. Do you understand?
I think the girls take directions really well, and they're seeking direction. They're a little bit more analytical in the way they play rather than physical, and sometimes tactically they're better. We're trying to evolve maturity and IQ in the game. It's a little easier with the women, I find.
About 10 levels. JD, rip that left and go lay it up, please. 6 more, we're doing 10 of them. Good, keep going.
Girls are more EQ, so they're more emotional coaching. And by that, you have to take into account how you're saying something, how you're trying to get that across. And it's not to say that they're, it's all run on emotions and they're touchy-feely.
What you're trying to do to her. You went like this. She stood in front of you and you rode that way, come back into her and went bang.
We as coaches, especially for me as a male, I have to be aware that sometimes I say something to the girls and they really don't understand because I'm not connecting with them emotionally.
Down, ready. Preparation. Try and hold that hand at the hoop a little bit longer. Layla, hold. Make sure you don't drag it down too quick.
I feel like, especially in this program here, that us girls are easy to coach because we play as a team and not an individual. Not all cases, but sometimes males like to play as their own and, drop 40 points and that's their way of achieving their goal. But I feel like with this girls program, and especially us as girl players, if it means that myself as a point guard, passing the ball for a better shot opportunity, if I'm not scoring as much as I should be, that tight-knit group and the mentality to just play for each other and as a team is what I feel like us girls do really good.
This is the one you just got to be careful of. Now see this, see how you drag your hand out? Now see how all your weight's on you?
On my left side.
Yeah, and that brings your right hand down is what causes it. You push from right to left and that's it, brings your hand down. See how you end up like this, all right?
A coach is only as effective as the buy-in they receive from the playing group. And Hillcrest is not short of committed student athletes.
I love basketball because I use it as a tool to travel places and I communicate leadership towards my teammates. I reckon I can bring intensity, leadership and spacing of moving the ball and calling the plays.
But for Layla Cameron, one of the youngest members of the squad, the bigger picture is not all about the basketball.
I like Hillcrest because they know my background, I guess. I love the Gold Coast, it's near the beach and you get to hang out with family and friends. Most of my family's here as well.
Being born into basketball royalty doesn't guarantee that the sporting gene appears immediately.
She's very tenacious. She initially didn't really warm to the game when she was younger. She was kind of a casualty of where we had to be all the time. She was more interested doing cartwheels around the stadium than actually playing basketball. She's been very lucky in having some really good coaches take her over the years, and her goal is obviously to go to college, and so she's working towards that at the moment.
Do you have any preference of the school you want to go to?
I want to go to the big schools, the schools that's mainly known for basketball for girls, real high.
You mean the higher profile schools?
Yeah.
What's your favourite?
I want to go to UCLA or UConn, but UConn's pretty good, so I don't know. Or Virginia.
And the Cameron name extends beyond the achievements of her famous father.
So my oldest brother, Tobias, he's in college right now. Flynn, the smartest in the family, definitely. He's in Chicago playing college.
They're only home once a year. We've just had them at home for a couple of weeks, so it was nice to have noisy house, siblings arguing.
For schooling and basketball, I want to try and go to college and Devon College in America and hopefully get A's. That would be real good.
Yeah, a couple of sounds is fine, but some people have used like a lot of sounds where they've gone like knock, knock, ring, ring, bang, bang. You know, it's, yeah, sometimes that can detract.
What's another word of Like, how do you spell? No.
What do you mean, like?
Never mind.
She's very competitive with her brothers. She always is trying to achieve things before they did. They've got a running competition who makes what team earlier.
Oh no.
But I think that's what drives her in a way. As long as she's enjoying it, then we'll keep helping her achieve what she wants to do.
Guys, how many of you have finished your drafts? Maybe? Sort of? Almost? Yeah?
What's another word? So when you say she was interrupted with 2 loud gunshots, banging in the hall. Echoing. Yeah, that's a good one. How do you spell echoing? Dictionary.
For an extraordinary family, the everyday balance of school and life is challenging.
We're in a good position where Pero does coach at the school. It's quite full on, not just with school basketball, there's, you know, other school teams and state teams, so there's not really a down period in the year. It's really about just trying to find a balance with her at the moment with the school workload and basketball trainings and games, which she hasn't quite mastered yet, but we're getting there.
When we do dialogue, what do we put at the end of the person's words before the speech marks? Before we put the speech marks, we just have a comma after Mia and then a comma after guys. And this one here, what should be after that? What punctuation mark should go after these?
Question.
Yeah, question.
What's another word of a sad, like a scared, sorry? Terrified, petrified. How do you spell petrified?
Most of their trainings are after school and, you know, sometimes they don't finish until 7 o'clock at night. There's been a lot of nights where she is up until 1 o'clock in the morning trying to finish assignments. I think she struggles a bit with that, with just time management and planning as well.
The season is long, but Hillcrest and Layla Cameron seem to be on the right track.
Hi folks, sorry for being late. It's one of my
pet hates.
Matt
just talked about the same thing.
Yeah.
Everyone, this is Simon Fletcher from Leading Teams. He's going to be leading us through our workshop here today. So I'm just going to hand straight over and get straight into it.
Yeah, great. Thanks for having me. Why are we here? Any ideas?
To be better.
To be better, fantastic. Roger and I had a conversation a little while back about trying to improve the performance of the Basketball Excellence program. So today is about really defining the direction that these guys want to go as leaders of the program, and so getting a really clear understanding of the expectations that they have of each other to be able to deliver the best product that they possibly can. Today is about your needs, this team and how you can get better. I don't come in here with a manual or anything like that telling you what you need to do. All right, it's about you guys taking responsibility and ownership for that. We have a model that we use to facilitate our program. This is our high-performing teams model. All right, so you cannot have a high-performing team unless you have high-performing leaders. All right, why would that be, do you think?
You can't lead people on a journey you haven't experienced yourself.
Yeah, okay, good. Leaders give the team direction, and really simply, leaders model a certain type of behaviour. All right. One of the catchphrases we use is any given team, and so we believe that we can have a really positive impact on performance of any group of people coming together to try and achieve an outcome. So it doesn't matter what you do in terms of the mechanics of your organisation. What we're focusing on is the dynamics, so the how we do it together. Clearly, what we've got here today is a group of people that are willing to invest in that, and hopefully, the outcome is that they improve. So we've defined our culture, all right, through our behavioural framework. People, leaders, model, reward and challenge behaviour. All right, the most important thing that we need to do as leaders is model behaviour first and foremost. All right, like it or not, the behaviour that we display as leaders of these children, they will more than likely model what we do as well. All right, what we value will get done. If we value talent and have no care whatsoever about team, then kids will just want to play for themselves. In the introduction, I spoke about the mutual trust and respect in a strong professional relationship. So I want them to understand the importance and the impact on their relationships within achieving what they want to achieve. But also, the other bit is have some clarity around the expectations that they have of each other. Those elements there will allow them to start having conversations with each other about the performance individually and collectively of the team, which therefore leads to better outcomes for the kids at the end of the day.
Fletch, we had a good example of that. I reckon a couple of Thursdays ago, there was a shift in some of Steve's, how he was setting up his training and what they were executing. And I walked back up into the gym and I could feel a different energy. So the kids, remember we spoke about that, the kids had identified that and straight away there was a different energy in the gym. So it's a live example of that.
100%. And it doesn't have to take a lot. So another one of my clients I work with,
as the workshop breaks into smaller groups, the opportunity arises to vocalise the positive progressions, but also to air any grievances or contentions.
My view is that with our basketball program, that's our excellence program, that should direct all of our sporting programs. That should give us our culture for every other program that we run at that school, because that is the pinnacle of the top of the apple tree. That's where it sits up the top there. If we're sitting up here and we've got our culture here right, every other sporting team and every other sport that we do will sit up there as well.
Yeah, it's funny you say that, because like a few years back, basketball was the only thing, and when we got good at basketball, the whole school rose with it at that stage. Probably when we were down to the lowest number of kids we had at the school, and that, I feel it was sort of sitting on our basketball program. And if we've got to lead the way, we've got to lead the way.
Yeah. And you will.
Well, we want to.
What's what I've said all along, I'm looking to grow that program so that it has a healthy influence on all of our other programs. And I can see it now. I've seen the difference even in the 2 months we've been together.
Yeah. Well, we are trying to change. I mean, the things that you've brought to us, and now the trust is getting there, we are generally trying to change that. So, and you saying some positive things to the other day about it was pretty good, actually.
What behaviours do we currently accept or condone that stop us from being our ideal team? This is for us.
What stops us?
And what behaviours do we currently accept or condone that stop us? So amongst ourselves, what do we accept or condone?
Yeah, I don't feel like I can talk frankly with everyone, I must admit, at the moment. This is my first sort of a meeting like this too, so I'm starting to learn. I'm open to learning it now. So you've been through this process where we're on the start of it,
It's about getting us onto the same even playing field, which is what this is all about, and actually saying, hey, this is where we're going forward.
Steve Whelan is right to challenge the status quo. If the program aspires to the lofty level of excellence, it must firstly address any internal conflicts.
But I've held back for a long time. They probably needed to say things, but I'm not very good at sitting down and having a conversation. I've told you, like I seem to come across, I don't mean to it, and I seem to come across like I'm attacking, or I'm feeling like you're feeling like I'm attacking you, and I just don't know how to get the words right or whatever it is,
So that's something we'll work through.
Yeah.
That's the whole idea of this and the new program.
Because me and Pero aren't on the same page, realistically, I'm on a totally different page, and I tend to go, all right, well, I'm just going to worry about what I'm doing and try and get this side of it going, because realistically, and I'm going to get judged on this side, that's what I feel like, so I've got to get what I'm doing right.
What behaviour are you currently accepting or condoning with Para?
well, I'm frustrated in a certain thing. So, but it's not because he's the great coach, but like we've got enough to get an emerging team on the floor and get practice going. I coach the same girls that don't know what they're doing, where he could be helping me in it. See, the one thing he's got is, and this is why I'm always backing, because he does care. He genuinely cares about the kids. There's no doubt, and he's definitely got passion there. It's just don't worry if they're emerging. Get them, because you might get one player that's going to hit a basket and get a bronze medal, because it happened to me. You know, I got to learn that early.
And it's the same as in coaching. You can't take it to heart if someone goes, hey, why don't you try this? Hey, why are you doing that? You know, and I think that could be part of our culture too, is that we're always trying to chop each other down. You know, Australian culture. Yeah. Instead of building each other up. You know, like, hey, why don't you try this? The biggest thing is we need to be open to change.
Open and frank discussions are easier to initiate in today's modern age of transparent communication. Hillcrest Basketball is leaving no stone unturned to ensure the program achieves clarity and truth.
Yeah, well, if someone can show me something that's going to make a kid better, I'm open to it. I want to know. I want to understand, you know, so.
My big thing is speaking to those guys, they've just got to take the game seriously as best they can. We want them to get a good game, but we also want the girls to have a good game too. Yeah, this will be good, mate. The girls are pretty keen. Boys should be keen to try and get it back too.
Girls on 3. 1, 2, 3, girls! Go girls.
The clash of the genders further highlights the dynamic and physical nature of basketball.
Yeah, it's a different kind of sport. It's not that big a court, so you need a lot of kind of fast, high-intensity movements.
It's your ball anyway. Wait, what's split? Help! Go low!
And you need to be able to repeat them a lot of different times. And the whistle blows probably every 2 or 3 possessions. Your body's got to be up for it, and mentally tough as nails. But anything that's unfortunate that happens, it doesn't go your way, being able to brush it off and concentrate on the next play, that's probably the biggest thing.
Is that on you? Not happening. Okay, good one. Help! Help! Go low! Oh, my bad. Sorry.
I think the game's built off fundamentals and the strength of defence, and that's what we're trying to instill. Competitive nature comes from within, and it's something really hard to teach. It's a lot to do with your personality profile, and we try to evolve it and nurture it and create leaders here. I think there's a lot of pressure on kids to score, and the way they perceive the game's not necessarily the way they can best contribute. You don't have to be the #1 option offensively.
So the big thing that you need to do is you just need to go at your pace. Run whatever plays you want to run out there, like control the ball. You know, that's the big thing, control the ball.
Hook it up, girls, hands up, live.
Think about it from the perspective of just watching now as a leader instead of watching it as a player. What can we do better? What aren't we doing?
With Layla Cameron away on international coaching duties, the leadership baton is passed on to Captain Charli Reece, who, in a nod to her sporting experience, shares her on-court IQ.
Because it's like, even if it's not there, we could go to the wing, and then it just goes into trends. Like, it's not like there's no options. Say if they're all over you and you can't run it, bring it back out here and just go like this, and I'll set you a screen, and then you can get them off and then run.
You got to get on there, eh, you two?
In her final year of high school basketball, Reece is relishing the journey towards the ultimate graduation gift, the first ever state title for the senior girls.
Right, get back now, get back!
But there is complacency in the ranks, a sign there is much to do before the big dance.
Right, now slow, get in there.
Girls. Mate, last week you were enjoying yourself. Last week you showed up and you wanted to play. This week you've shown up and just expecting it to happen. It's like you girls have shown up and you're just going, oh, well, we'll just come out here and play.
Yeah, and I think like me as well, like I'm just losing it, and then I get frustrated and then I just chuck it away as well.
You got to lift, eh? This is something that you got to learn to do on the run. Let's go, come on.
Girls on 3, 1, 2, 3, go! It's kind of always been a part of my life, like, you know, growing up, Dad played his whole life, so I kind of just grew up with it, and yeah, I don't know, it's just something I've always enjoyed.
Slow.
Being captain, it's been amazing, and you know, for me learning, I've been that quieter off the court person, and just being able to have that confidence, I guess, and lead that team, yeah, it's been really good.
Having accepted a basketball scholarship to St. Francis University in Pennsylvania, it's a balancing act for Charli to stay on top of everything, including the school basketball captaincy, coaching commitments, and school life.
Yeah, so Pennsylvania, Charli, you're looking forward to that, yeah?
Yeah, no, I'm keen. It'll be good.
It'll be cold. Charli's done quite well. She's from Hillcrest now. She's going to St. Francis University. She's on a Div 1 scholarship there, a full scholarship. No, that'll be good. And your coaches all seem nice, Charli?
Yeah. And then I get my degree out of it as well, so.
Exactly right. She's been recruited as a power forward. Hopefully that's going to do her the world of good. 4 years there, she's going to be studying something that she enjoys. We find a lot of them, they leave school, they don't know what they want to do. They're playing a bit of basketball here and there, a few years goes and they just get some job down the road where this is an opportunity for her to, to better herself.
Everyone kind of, wants to go to college, and I was never really sure. As I kind of through year 10 and 11, I really grew the love of basketball again, so and that was just something I really wanted to do.
We're sort of a basketball family, have been ever since day dot, ever since I sort of started playing and then sort of pass it on to my children.
While Charli's family are preparing themselves for life after she goes, her parents both come from basketball families and are fully supportive of the move.
I grew up in a family that also played basketball, so my sister was heavily involved in basketball, and my mum actually worked in the admin office where Matt was playing, came here to play NBL. So that's how I met Matt. So I've always been around basketball, and I guess I met Matt when I was 17. And then he moved around playing in various NBL teams, so I moved with him as a youngster, and yeah, we've just always been involved in basketball ever since.
This year, Dad decided to coach my brother, and I thought, until I go to college that I will help him and kind of just make the most of the last months together before I go. So
good. Push
for them to spend the next few months together, and they coach 2 nights a week trainings, and then they'll have the game starting soon, so that's pretty special for them to have that time together, and for Mitch to have her there as well. So no, it's nice.
5-0 up and back.
Yep. All right, you got it.
Just Hawk.
Yep, so they can do flow first. So
flow first and then Hawk.
Yep, flow then Hawk.
She's very good at, she's very smart, so she understands the game, and she preaches quite well to the younger children as well. So that's also helped with her confidence as well. Particularly with captaincy roles and playing as a senior player and whatever, it helps you with that confidence to to encourage the younger children, to get them sort of up and going, get them, where they're supposed to be. And they look up to Charli too, which is nice. So they'll listen and they'll apply whatever she tells them to do.
My dad, he's been there for me since I started, so he's been like my biggest mentor for sure.
We've been together close as a family, and now she's leaving. She's 18, at the end of the year, and she's going to be going for 4 years. So we're going to miss her terribly. But yeah, no, it'll be fun. It'll be a good experience for her.
Next time on The Season.
They're great young people, they're respectful, they work hard.
This team's going to be fast-paced, all right? They're going to try and get those fast breaks every time.
I want you two to be out on the wings, because if she gets stuck, she needs someone to pass it to.
When they first told me, I was really devastated, but I thought it's going to be fun. I got a lot of strength from it.
For more information about Hillcrest Christian College, visit hillcrestqld.edu.au.